Hey, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. We're going to be getting started here live on KTSA in about 4 minutes. And got Jim Smith back here in studio with us today, which is awesome. We're going to learn about what's going on with him and his AC journey and taking your calls and a whole lot more. So stick around. Going to be coming live here in just a few minutes. If that was Texas,
Yeah. Say again.
I said if that was in Texas, they'd be shooting him out of the air.
Trying to make sure my echo is gone.
What's that?
Trying to make sure the echo was gone.
Oh, okay.
Is Martin Bomba's Rockin' Home Show on Woodstock 550 KTSA at FM 1071.
Wow, that must mean one thing.
It's time to get started.
It's time for the show.
That's it. That's it.
It's the Rockin' Home Show on AM 550, FM 1071, KTSA, KTSA.com. We're, of course, on Facebook Live. Thanks to those joining us on Facebook Live this morning. Tell your friends about us. We get more and more people watching every week and love it. Absolutely love seeing you guys out there and love spending our Saturday morning with you. My name is Martin Bomba. That's my bud Jim Smith right over there.
And we are here to help.
And it's going to be a good show today,
It's
especially.
always a good show.
It's always a good show, but today it's going to be extra special because we know we're going to have some great calls today. We know this.
Yes,
I
sir.
feel it in my bones.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's it's like energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
210-599-5555 is the number. 210-599-5555 is the number to get in on the home improvement conversation this morning. How you been, brother? Been out for a few weeks?
Yeah, yeah. Spent some time with family.
Yeah.
Had granddaughter's birthday, then we had the family pictures, and then you did a best of, and so we're back
So
now.
back again.
Yes, sir.
Back again.
Yes, sir.
Good to see you, bud.
It's good to see you. It's good to be here. It's good to for all you folks. I'm glad you get to see me today.
I'm sure they're thrilled too. I'm sure they're thrilled. Give us a little update on what's going on with the AC stuff. What's going on with that?
Still planning on January launch. I got everything passed. The license, everything is good to go. Um, just plugging along.
Yeah, just putting all the pieces in place.
Get everything in place. I'm just trying to get as much in place as I can before I actually take the first call, because when I do take the first call, the first thing I'm going to realize is what I didn't put in place.
There will be a small learning curve at the beginning, yes.
I won't say a learning curve. It's going to be a small can't remember curve.
Yeah, that
I
too.
forgot that.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, stocking up any kind of a service truck, I don't care if it's AC, if it's plumbing, if it's window service, whatever it is, there's always something you forget the first week or two.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But what you have to realize is that once I'm brand specific, in other words, I'm a dealer for a particular brand,
Right.
then I'll stock as many parts as I can for that brand.
Have you decided on that yet?
I have, but I'm not going to announce it.
Not going to say it yet.
No.
Okay.
But
Goodman.
you funny guy. You're funny.
I'm just guessing.
No.
Sorry.
But all the equipment today has become so brand specific for the parts.
Yeah.
It's really, there's not really that many universal parts out there anymore,
And I know why you're waiting until after the first year, because after the first year, the prices are going to be incredibly higher. That's not why you're waiting?
No.
Am I off base on that one?
You're off base on that one, folks.
I say that tongue firmly planted in cheek.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Hey, let's say good morning to a few people that are tuning in this morning. Buddy, good morning to you. Good morning, Bobby. Good morning, Dylan. Glad to see you there this morning, son. Thanks for joining in. And anybody else who's out there watching in Facebook land, thank you guys.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
Yes, we are here to help y'all and to hopefully entertain you.
That's the whole point of this show. Entertain and inform and hopefully make your life a little easier in some areas,
Yeah, if we can. Sometimes we've had some callers that I think we've actually made their lives a little harder.
Do you think? Maybe so. We were the bearers of bad tidings.
Yes.
Is that what you're
Yes.
saying? Yeah, sometimes that does happen, but the truth is the truth. And but anyway, yeah. So brand specific stuff is making it a little more specialized with what you stock on your truck.
Right. Well, it makes for a lot more parts trips because I can work on any brand, but if I don't have the parts, brand specific parts for that brand on the truck, I've got to go get those parts.
Gotcha.
And I can't. You can't in today's world. You can't stock all of the parts for all of the units. You just can't.
It's just impossible.
Right.
Yeah. Well, the good news is, you got parts stores that are open late and they're nearby. You typically, unless you're waiting.
Yeah, most of the parts stores, even if they're closed, you can pay an opening fee, which of course would roll to the customer if they can't wait till tomorrow, and you can get the parts 24 hours a day usually.
Yeah. Well, hey, let's get to the phone lines. Already lighting them up this morning. 210-599-5555. 210-599-5555. Let's go to John. Hey, John, thanks for getting things kicked off on the Rockin' Home Show.
King Jones. I heard it was by the coasters that said it came from Donald Trump.
What the? I think he's got the wrong show.
He did.
No, no, man. I appreciate that, John.
No. That's good. That's good. Along came Jones.
Along came Jones. Okay.
That's good.
Jim has been out here and getting these sections of the gutters for projects. We're going to start the gutters on the one house. It's not involved. And this is my question. I want underground storage tanks, and I want them to have a porcelain, or what do you call it now, the ceramics. Get the porcelain finish on the inside of the tank, holding the water. I don't want any fiberglass, anything touching my drinking water.
Okay.
Right.
I don't think that's on the market. I think that has to be a custom item.
If it is on the market, I'm not aware of it. Most people who use cisterns or water catchment systems don't use it for drinking water. They may use it for irrigation, or they may use it for maybe even for bathing or washing. Very rarely is it used for drinking water. So you're probably right. There's probably not a lot of items out there on the market, although I would say that there must be something out there, because I guarantee you that there are countries that use water catchment for their drinking water, and there must be something that is potable and safe in the catchment world. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's necessarily ceramic. It might be metal. I'm not sure, but
I don't. All I can say is do some research, because I agree with you. I like the ceramic coating better than fiberglass or gunite.
well, the rotoplast systems are probably the most popular
Right.
catchment systems,
Right.
and those I believe are either fiberglass or plastic.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're gonna just have to do some research and see, even if there's a company that can build them on site. Now, you might even check with an oil-filled tank company and see if they can make you the tanks, because I know they glass line a lot of those tanks.
There you go.
But I'm going to have to look up the red board to, all kind of cleaning equipment, ultraviolet light, and Alamo, what is the water?
Alamo water softeners, yes, sir.
Mhm.
The fish is going into the house, and it will be potable.
Oh, I bet they can figure out a way to
Oh yeah,
clean for you.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
That's the project, Jim, and that's why it took so long for the action to start. It gave me the bid, but they started the one house, but this house will have the catchment system. And like I said, that the hang up is that ceramic coated.
You've already ordered it.
It's abrasive or
You know what? But doing the inside of a tank is going to be the trick. That's going to
It
be the
is.
trick, because yes, there are companies like that resurface bathtubs and things like that do ceramic coatings. However, doing it on the inside of a closed surface area
Mhm.
is going to be very difficult. That's kind of something that needs to be done prior to the assembly, I would think. But I don't know. I mean, I would think of maybe two-piece assembly, do it, and then put it together, and
Seal it.
yeah.
I don't know, but like I said, I think your best bet is going with oil filled, because they glass line those tanks. They do it to keep chemicals in. You want to do it to keep chemicals out.
I kept misunderstanding what you were saying. I thought you were saying oil filled. And I'm like, why would you
Oil
want something oil filled for your
field.
field?
Oil field.
Oil field.
Yes,
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 yes.
yes.
By the way, Landman, great series. Great. If you
Oh
haven't
yeah.
watched Landman, if you're easily offended, maybe not your show, but it is.
Or maybe it is your
Maybe it is your show.
tough
Maybe, yeah. Maybe you need help with that. That could be it. But yeah, I think that's the best advice we can give you this morning, John. And
Has Winter World already started the gutters on the river house?
they did.
Is Winter World already started the gutters on the river house?
One fellow came out and talk, show the project, this thing, then he came back later and with camp.
All right, so they've got the ball rolling for you. Perfect, perfect. All right.
All right. Well, hey, John, thank you so much. We appreciate the business, and hopefully we helped you a little bit this morning. All right, brother. Have a good one. Let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to go to Ken and then Chris, and then your calls at 210-599-5555. Apple Pest Control coming out to my house to do service in about a week. And I don't even have to be home. I let them in. They do their thing. They don't disrupt our living space. I don't have to worry about anything. Even my puppies, they're all good. They leave, let it dry for a little bit, and I don't have to worry about any of that. Why? Because I trust Apple Pest Control, and I encourage you to trust them with your pest control needs. And that includes your home with everything from rodents to ants to fleas to roaches, and with the wintertime and the cold weather coming, and we've already had a little blast of that. We're going to be getting a whole lot more, I'm sure. The rodents are going to be looking for warmth just like you and I are. And if that happens, you want somebody that can take care of that for you. Apple Pest Control is that company. They can also help make sure that your yard is healthy throughout the dormant season. So whenever growing season starts again in the spring, you have a beautiful lawn. So highly encourage you to give my friends a call at Apple Pest Control. Tell them Martin sent you. The number is 210-695-8946. And you bet they do organic pest control too. Be sure to ask them about that. Apple Pest Control is where you're going to find them online, applepestcontrol.com, applepestcontrol.com for my friends at Apple Pest Control. All right. Good calls to start the day.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Rocking and rolling.
Not bad.
Rocking and rolling. Yeah, John, the one was on the phone.
Uh-huh.
We bid his house. We laid out all the gutters to catch the water the best off the house.
Okay.
And 2 outbuildings.
Oh, wow.
So he's piping that into underground cisterns.
Okay.
And doing potable water.
That's crazy.
He also has the river house. He's going to use that water. At that point, he told me he hadn't decided if he was going to use that for potable or just for water supply.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, irrigation, washing machine, stuff like that.
I would be skeptical of using it for potable water for any reason, but you never know. Maybe.
Well, he's done some research. He's researched the filter systems, and the glass line tank is definitely going to be the way to
the
go.
Cleanest, yeah.
Right.
Sure.
But he needs to keep in mind also, one of the biggest reason fiberglass is so popular, or plastic tanks, is because they're flexible.
Yeah.
If the ground moves, but
your
if that
ceramic's
ground
your
moves,
ceramic's going to,
the
and
ceramic
the area
glass
that we're in.
line is going to crack.
And we might want to mention that. That's a really good point. Stainless steel may be an option, like they use in
Actually,
distilleries and
it's
stuff.
one of the least flexible metals. The higher you get in, the higher
It's certainly
stainless.
it's certainly more
content.
flexible than ceramic, wouldn't you think?
It's pretty damn brittle.
Is it?
Good stainless is pretty
Okay.
pretty brittle.
Because I was thinking, we'll talk on the air about it. I haven't heard this song in a long time.
Yeah. Of course, I was lip syncing.
Yes.
The folks don't want to hear me actually sing it. Trust me. Trust me, they don't.
Hey, Edwin, who is that? Who that?
Hey,
You don't know?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. All right. I'm certain it is. Yes.
You think?
Yeah, I think maybe so. Yeah, Don Cooper Stevens puts our music together for us. Thank you so much, Don,
Yeah.
for doing that. Have a particular theme on each show these days, and we'll see if we can figure out what today's theme is. Okay.
Okay.
We are going to get back to the phone lines at 210-599-5555, 210-599-5555. Martin Bomber right here, Jim Smith right there.
And we are here to help. And John, last caller, keep in mind if you go glass lined or ceramic tanks, they're not flexible. You're going to have to put a buffer all the way around the tank. It's going to be flexible,
Maybe a cement liner.
something
Yeah.
for ground movement.
Yeah, that's something I didn't think about, and we talked about maybe stainless steel vats like you would use in distilling or in
Mhm.
winemaking. Those are possibilities, but stainless steel, as Jim pointed out, is also
Very brittle.
kind of brittle.
Yeah.
So, different options. Definitely some particular challenges that it's
Right.
going to pose. But yeah, just keep that in mind when you're laying it out. Chris and Charles, hang on, you're coming right up. But Ken, you are up next on the Rockin' Home Show.
Hey, good morning. Thank you, guys.
Good morning.
Morning.
I've got a washroom, and I want to put up some insulation board just on the west side there. And aesthetics is not an issue for me back there, but my question is, I'm a novice, obviously. How important is it that I cover that board installation with something else, either wood or glass, for effectiveness?
It's very important, not necessarily for effectiveness, but for preservation. Foam board insulation is not meant for exposure. It's not meant to be left out in the elements. It's meant to be covered up with siding of some kind. So yes, it's very important that you cover it up.
Now you're putting it on the inside of the
Or
wall.
you put it on the inside.
Yes, but you still want, you still want to put up some gypsum or even a pegboard. If washroom, would put a pegboard because then you can just hang stuff wherever you want. And inside, it's not protection from the weather. It's just protection from being scratched or just wear
Gouged
and
or
tear.
whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, I will look into the pegboard.
That's what I would use is the pegboard.
Okay.
And there you go. So it's practical and it protects. So good stuff all the way around. Ken, thanks for the call. Appreciate you. Let's go to Chris. Chris, good morning. Welcome to the Rockin' Home Show.
Morning. Let me get you off speak. There we go. And hey, kudos to Don Cooper. He's been there for long.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
sir. He is extremely knowledgeable. I miss him on Saturdays sometimes because he and I would talk music ad infinitum.
So one of your sponsors of not necessarily your show, but Fox show is Tanks a Lot up in Bernie or wherever else.
Yes.
Yes.
They sell an Australian tank, which is assembled on site. And when I've been in Australia before out there, when you're way out in the middle of nowhere land, they have to collect water.
Yep.
They bury the tank. They don't have a grip, and they drink the water off the rain.
Okay.
Okay.
They're designed for potable water.
Well, John, I hope you're listening. Tanks a lot.
Yes.
Tanks a lot. It's in Bernie, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. It's somewhere up there.
Yeah.
They also have one on off of Sinclair Road, but I think the one up at Cody. Anyway, they can assemble on site up to 100,000 gallons or more.
Wow.
There you go.
There you go.
There's
Good
that.
solution. Hey, we got some smart listeners out there, man. Thank
We
you,
do.
Chris.
We do.
Appreciate you, man. Yeah. So there's good advice. So John, hope you're still listening. That's a great place. I don't know why I didn't think about tanks a lot because I hear Bob talking about it all the time.
Well, thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go to the phone lines 210-599-5555. Let's go to Charles. Charles, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Long time ago, I built a water tower out there in Stone Oak. Everybody probably sees it.
If it's the one I'm thinking of, yeah.
Stone Oak, 16 gallons, and everybody around there drinks that water.
Yep.
What stuff was that they sprayed, but that tape moves. Trust me, that it was 1 inch when we filled it up.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure that's true.
Yeah.
Probably better you don't.
Yeah.
Something in there, man, that tape, when we started going there, you could not hear it out there.
Yeah, it was pretty remote when that thing went up.
But man, I just can't remember what those guys painted it with.
Maybe a ceramic paint.
Yeah.
Could have been.
Some type of ceramic coating, but on something like that, like you said, it moves a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, it does.
And it would have to be something flexible.
Well, hey, listen, appreciate you calling this morning,
Yes,
Charles.
sir.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate you listening and being a part of the show. Let's get one more in here before we go to break. John's back?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's get John back here. Hey, John, welcome back to the show. Oh, okay. So you're ahead of us. Okay.
Awesome.
Well, John, we appreciate you letting us know, brother. Thank you. Oh my gosh, who knows? Who knows? It was 10 years since the last time, so let's shoot for another 10 years. Hey, thanks, John. Appreciate you, brother. All right. Let's go to Frank. Frank, good morning. Welcome to the Rockin' Home Show.
How you doing?
Fantastic. Frank, how you doing?
Well, matter of fact, I just started this morning putting out my Christmas lights, and I had a question about that. Yeah, I got, the 2 or 3 different electric cords going into the front of the house at the little electric outlet. I'm wondering, is there something you got to watch out for, or how much to plug into one of those things, or will it just blow it?
Well, it kind of these days it's a little bit different because today they're not all incandescent bulbs.
Wait, you're going in through the window and plugging it into a house outlet?
Exterior outlet.
Okay, so it's GFCI protected already.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was a big thing. I thought you were going through a window, and I was going to say no, don't do that. But okay, so you're already GFCI protected, and with most of like Martin said, with most of the lights today, they're not going to pull enough amps. To affect it. You have to think with the lights today, you can put up to 10 or 20 strings together.
Yeah, because they're LED and they draw almost nothing.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're
Right.
fine. Back in the day when it was all incandescent bulbs, that was a different story.
It was.
You'd have people plug in 8 or 10 strings and you could go over and touch the cord and it would burn you.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have, let's see, 2, 4. I have 2, 4, 5 or 6 strings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you should. If they're new modern lights, you'll
good.
definitely be going to be fine.
Oh, by the way, all my windows are doing good. I got one more little thing to do. I wanted to think about. I'm either gonna paint or put siding on the back of the house. It's that asbestos siding.
Yes, sir.
And front of the house is weird how they built this thing. The front of the house, if you're driving down the street and you look at the house, say, "Oh, look at that brick house." But if you go in the backyard, it's not brick. It's like
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thinking about putting some maybe whatever, some kind of aluminum siding over the top of that stucco.
Call Martin up. Call Martin up because I bet you they can do, if it's just a back, I'll bet you can do brickstone and get pretty close to matching the brick on the rest of the house. That way you do have a full brick home.
That's certainly one. Yeah, that is a good option, and we've got lots of options. But call us at Window World, and we'll be happy to get a design consultant out there to give you the different options for you. Thank you, Frank. Appreciate you calling this morning. Great call, and always good to hear from customers. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
We do have to take a break. We do have a couple of phone lines open right now, 210-599-5555, 210-599-5555. And speaking of Window World and Brickstone, we at Window World and Brickstone want to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas. We got the whole family, not the whole family, but a bunch of the family together, all of the grandkids or most of the grandkids together, and shot a commercial a couple of weeks ago. So you'll see that on TV and streaming right now. It turned out so good. Little Brody, our little guy, he he was the cutest in this thing, and they were just so excited. And from our family to yours, we wish you a blessed and joyous holiday season. It's a great time for reflecting and spending time with family and friends, and once you're all through this, when you're ready for windows, siding, doors, and more, Window World is there and ready for you. We're ready to help you. We have got a beautiful selection of gorgeous windows, energy efficient siding products, as well as our brickstone and stucco, patio covers, entry doors, patio doors, seamless gutters, gutter protection, and so much more. If it's for the outside of the house, chances are good you're going to find it at Window World. And we have been serving Central and South Texas since 1947, now 4 generations deep. Give us a call. The best way to find all of the phone numbers for your local Window World in Corpus Christi, New Braunfels, or San Antonio is at windowworldtx.com. That's windowworldtx.com. Phenomenal financing options right now, including 15 months, same as cash. We also have some longer terms that start at less than $100 a month, and so much more. Give us a call at Window World. Better yet, get online and book yourself an appointment today. windowworldtx.com. That's windowworldtx.com. Window World, improving homes, changing lives.
You said same as cash. Did you change it?
That's 0%.
Did you change it? Because
15 months. 15 months.
That's always been with regular monthly payments. That's not same as cash.
But it is same as cash.
No, it's not.
It's still 0%. 0% is same as cash.
No, same as cash means that you don't have to make payments.
That's not true. Same as cash means you don't get charged any interest. 0% interest.
Yes.
No payments is no payments.
Okay.
But it's the same as cash. If you don't charge any interest, that's same as cash. Make sense?
It does, but I know that when we were at the reunion in the Wells class, they said that 15 months is not same as cash. Same as cash means there's no payments during the 15 months. You can pay it all at once or wait 15 months and pay it all then. That's same as cash.
Yeah, that's not the way that I understand same as cash. Look up the definition. Same as cash means you're not paying anything extra. If you pay the same amount that you would as cash, that's same as cash. I don't care if you have regular payments or not.
What they explained to us is that all that is with regular monthly payments. Don't say same as cash. Say 0% interest with regular monthly payments.
I mean, that's getting very specific,
Yep.
but I don't think that I'm wrong.
I don't know.
No, I agree. You should be forthcoming and explain that to them. Obviously, I'm doing a commercial.
Yeah.
I can't explain everything in a commercial.
Oh yeah.
So
I was just saying in the class, that's what they told us. Is that it's not same as cash.
look it up. Well, you're on the phone right now, but you can look it up on your computer. Look up definition of same as cash. Just see what it says. I'm curious.
800-230-2777 or bigblue.com.
The Gomez Law Firm has been fighting for richer people for 50 years since Joe A. Gomez's 50th anniversary of practicing law. If you've been injured in an accident involving a company vehicle, hire a personal injury attorney, Joe Gomez. Born and raised right here in San Antonio. Gomez Law Fight. Call 210-736-4040.
This is Marky Bombo's Rockin' Home Show on News Talk 550 Cruise KSA FM 107.1.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the Rockin' Home Show on AM 550, FM 1071, KTSA, KTSA.com, and of course, Facebook Live. Thanks to those watching us out there on Facebook Live. Tell your friends about it, please. If you go to Facebook, look up Martin Bomba's Rockin' Home Show. You can find out more information and get yourself involved with the video portion of the program. Martin Bomba here, Jim Smith right there. And the phone lines are open, 210
We are,
59
I'm sorry, and we are here to help.
210 599 5555. 210 599 5555 is the number to get in on the home improvement conversation this morning. So a couple phone lines open right now. Get yourself one. And we've had some great calls so far this morning. Let's keep it rolling.
Yes, 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 absolutely.
So, watched a documentary this past week or week before on Max, and this is kind of shifting gears into the music world for just a few minutes. This documentary is called Yacht Rock, a documentary, a documentary, get it? And I didn't name it. And it's about an hour and a half long documentary that goes over the the phenomenon, the genre that has been known to be known as now as yacht rock. Well, we forget that back in the day when these hits were coming out, there was no such thing as yacht rock. That was not a definition.
No, it wasn't.
That was a term that was coined way after the fact.
Right.
That kind of grouped all of these different bands together in one genre, and it became known as yacht rock. And kind of like the name hair bands, there are some bands from that era that really are offended by the name hair bands because they think that it pigeonholes them and it takes the focus off the music, and they weren't just all about the looks. Well, let's be honest, a lot of them were all about the look.
Yeah.
But yacht rock, why it's insulting, I don't know. Most of them don't find it really insulting. They've embraced it. They get it. It's kind of schlocky, but it's also really good music. And that was kind of the theme of the documentary. And they interviewed people like the Picaros from Toto, Steve Lukather from Toto. They interviewed members of I'm trying to think what they interviewed Michael McDonald, Kenny Loggins, Christopher Cross. Christopher Cross, incidentally, Holmes High School graduate from San Antonio. And if you watch the documentary, you can kind of relive the success that he had very early on. It was kind of insane. The first year that he went to the Grammys, he won every award that he was nominated for. He won 5 awards. That was not duplicated again until a few years ago when Billie Eilish won 5 awards. Amazing story. But it also kind of hurt him because, where do you go from there?
Yeah, right.
I mean, really and truly, where do you go from there? So they did a really good job, I thought, of describing yacht rock, kind of defining it and what makes a song or a band yacht rock. Bands that you would think are yacht rock but aren't, like the Eagles, not yacht rock.
Nope. Nope.
Poco, not yacht rock. And there was a whole list of them. This is yacht rock. This isn't yacht rock. And I never really thought about it that way, but that's true. There are bands that you would think maybe kind of could be there, but they're not for a certain reason. Anyway, if you were a fan of yacht rock music, if you're a fan of Steely Dan, if you're a fan of the Doobie Brothers, if you're a fan of Michael McDonald and Christopher Cross and guys like that, man, I encourage you highly to watch this documentary. And it also talks about the black performers that were in the yacht rock genre, that and also talking about which ones of them were and were not yacht rock.
Right. What format is it on?
It's on Max.
Max.
It's on Max. So it's streaming on Max. If you have Max, it is so flipping good. I really enjoyed it. And
I'm gonna have to try to watch that. Yeah.
My favorite part. One of the guys that does not embrace the term yacht rock is Donald Fagen from Steely Dan.
Okay.
He does not like that. And without saying too much, at the end of the show, the producer and the director of the show calls up Donald Fagen and asks him if he'd like to make a comment on his contributions. Just watch it. it's
Okay.
it is funny. It's insightful. It relives a lot of great memories from that era. And what's crazy, one of the things that really struck me in the Yacht Rock documentary, one of the things that really struck me was how many songs sound like um, the Doobie Brothers. Is it not taking it to the streets? It's one of the Doobie Brothers songs that Michael McDonald sings that was a huge hit that he and Kenny Loggins wrote together. And they played about 8 other songs that sound just like
It's
it.
like, well, but you can't say that it sounds just like it. That would be like saying that all of Nickelback's songs sound the same. Wait a minute.
I don't know that that's a good argument. I
Right?
really don't.
Right.
But somebody said it best. I forgot who it was that I was listening to, but they said, "Oh, get over yourselves with these people saying this sounded like that and that sounded like." There are only so many notes.
Yeah.
There are only so many
Right.
notes,
Right.
and if you don't sound a little bit like something else, it's almost impossible, you know.
Well, Ashley and I took a road trip last week during the week, and she was looking for music, and she's like, "Dad, this is like a memory from the childhood," and it was a Nickelback song. I said, "No, that's not the one. You're right, that's not it. This one. No, that's not it."
And full disclosure, I like Nickelback.
Oh yes.
I'm a Nickelback fan. They're out touring again.
Yep.
Okay, you want to hear the weirdest tour combination that I've seen recently?
What's that?
Okay, I am I volunteered, got volunteered, however you want to call it. A good friend of mine up in Kerrville, James Harvey. He and I have known each other for 35 years, and literally for 35 years. And he and I met when I was at the radio station in Fredericksburg, way back in the day. And he's a old Cajun guy from way back. He's a Marine, retired Marine. Um, he's just a super guy. I mean, a
I've,
very unique personality.
I've met him.
You met James?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I guess you have met James, haven't you? So you know. So James calls me up and says, Mark, I want to do this benefit for K-Star. And K-Star, if you don't know who they are, kstar.org. Kstar.org, look it up. They're a phenomenal organization based in Kerrville that services a large area of counties around Kerrville. And they have services that are geared towards abused and neglected children. And obviously, that's something that's very dear to Debbie and I.
Right.
And so James said, "Well, I want you to be involved with this. I want you to MC it." And I said, "Okay, James, when is it?" And he told me, and then the dates changed a couple of times. I said, "Look, I'll make it work." So I'm emceeing this event. It's going to be May 31st. I'm not going to give a whole lot of information now because it's way in advance. But he put me in charge of finding the headliner for the show. So I'm contacting different management companies and stuff, and one of them that I came across, I met somebody the other night who's good friends with Shenandoah's manager. And if you don't know who Shenandoah is, look up the new version of Sunday in the South.
Right.
It's killer. It's killer. It's got Shenandoah, Marty Rabin on vocals, of course, and it's also got Luke Bryan and Jason Aldean. Okay, phenomenal version of the song. And in fact, I think it's #1 right now. So I called him up, talked to him. Do you know that Shenandoah is booked on like 5 dates this next year with
Mhm.
Kid Rock? It's a
I
package deal with Kid Rock
I can believe that.
and Shenandoah.
I can believe that.
So weird, I think.
Why was that weird? Two of Kid Rock's albums are
Oh
country
no,
albums.
I know, but it just seemed like a very odd combination. Kid Rock and Eric Church. I get that. That works. Kid Rock and Leonard Skinner. That works. Kid Rock and Shenandoah, but it's kind of genius. If you really think about it, it's kind of genius because they're going to attract very different crowds, I think, and they will draw fan bases from each to the other's music,
Right.
is what I think. You know, I'm just trying to picture somebody who was my age whenever Sunday in the South came out the first time, being a big Shenandoah fan and going out and hearing Cowboy. That's that's what I'm picturing.
Wait a minute, though. However, we can both say that we were big Shenandoah fans in the day,
Absolutely.
right?
Huge Shenandoah fans.
But we're also Kid Rock fans.
Yes, I am a big Kid Rock fan.
So it does kind of go hand in
I'm
hand.
weird, man. I like all kinds of music. I know not everybody's like that, but I do.
A lot of people in our age group, Gen Xers,
Listen to a wide variety of music. Yeah,
because we grew up with a wide variety of
you're
music.
absolutely right. I mean, even Charlie Robinson songs talk about, driving the drag and Bandera, listening to AC/DC. So,
Yep, that's it. That's it.
It's the truth. Hey, Chuck, please don't go anywhere. You're going to be coming up next. We do have to take a break, take care of some business, but as soon as we come back, we're going to get to you. Your phone calls too at 210-599-5555 when we come back on the Rockin' Home Show. Daniel Thomas is watching. Hi, Daniel. But yeah, I thought that was kind of crazy, Shenandoah and Kid Rock.
It's not as crazy as it sounds. I mean, he's collaborated with several.
Oh no, he did a lot of duets.
Uh,
Yeah. Have you seen have you heard or seen that video for Sunday in the South, the new one?
Not yet. No.
Oh dude, it's good. Especially Luke Bryan. Luke Bryan sounds great on it. Jason Aldean, he's okay. But Luke Bryan kills it. Howdy, Daniel. Chuck is up next. Chuck felt left out as a child. He was the one guy that could not do the name game. Well, I guess his friend Buck also had a problem with it. Here we go. So are you picking up what Don's putting down? You picking up the theme here? Get it?
I think so.
Yeah? Yeah.
Probably not.
Give it one more song and think about it.
Okay.
Autograph. So Autograph at the Cameo Theater in the 80s. At the Cameo Theater. It's a pretty cool show. Pretty cool show, I got to tell you. Hey guys, phone lines are open, 210-599-5555, 210-599-5555. That's the number to get in on the home improvement conversation, the music conversation, the conversation as you push it this morning.
Yes.
Let's go to Chuck. Chuck, good morning. Welcome to the show. Matching grout that age is going to be very difficult. I'm not going to say it's going to be impossible, but it's going to be different.
Yeah. You're just going to have a real hard time matching 30 years worth of wear. The best thing I can tell you is that most grout is either going to be white or gray. unless it was a specialty color from the
Oh
beginning.
yeah, but man, there are probably 50 different colors of grout.
Yeah, yeah. But the best thing, oh Lord, it's going to be difficult. I wouldn't even imagine.
Now,
I
now,
would probably. How big of an area is the total area?
Probably about 9 square feet. I could pick up about 8 1 foot tiles to new fence that down on them, and now I'm in the process of trying to put
They,
the grout between the tiles.
they sell a tool at the big box store. It's a grout scraper. You can go in and scrape down about an 8 inch on the rest of the grout in that room and regrout the whole thing. Now all your
now
grout,
it all matches. Yeah.
but just scrape the other grout down a little bit to get the surface rough so the new grout will stick to it.
Is this I missed, is this a large area, small area?
He said,
Well, yeah, it's actually it's about 1,000
Oh yeah, if it's a small area like that, then absolutely go to the little extra effort of scraping down and regrouting it all.
Thank you. I have another question. I want to put one of these hot water circulation systems in my house,
Sure.
and I need hot water at our the master bedroom into the house. And can you put multiple sensors on that system?
No,
We have hot water at the opposite end of the house.
well, and that's the way that you typically do it is you put your loop at the opposite end of the house. That's where you want your loop. So it will constantly during the timer, however you set your timer, during those times, it will keep hot water circulated through those pipes all the way to that loop. So
I'm not sure that my feeling is that the way my house is laid out, I don't think that they're in one continuous move from the water heater. I think that there's a zone that goes off to the master bedroom area, but it's opposite side of the house, and then the guest bathroom is in a zone by itself. I didn't know whether or not I could put one of those sensor valves on the opposite end of the house.
yeah, you only put one sensor valve, and that one will. I would put that one underneath your master sink.
Sure, that's definitely what we'll do.
Well, there you go. Awesome. Hey, thanks, Chuck. Appreciate you calling. Merry Christmas to you. Gotta start thinking about that. Christmas is coming, man.
it is.
It is not that
And
far
fast.
away.
And fast.
Not that
Yeah.
far away. And I want to mention this on the radio, um, but it's not for a few days. But I want to wish my wife Debbie a very happy 30th anniversary.
There you go. Yep.
30 years, man. 30 years. We celebrate on the 17th. We're going to have a good time. Well, let's see here. Oh, my son-in-law Travis asked if we can talk about an event that's coming up, and we will do that in just a moment. My son Dylan also mentioned something funny when we were talking about the different genres of music and yacht rock and this and that. He observed, and correctly so, that years ago there were probably maybe four or five different genres of music.
Mhm.
And now there's 1,000, maybe. I mean, there's everything.
That's kind of like
I, there,
never
I
mind.
mean, there used to be rock. Stop it. There used to be rock. I knew you were going with that. Stop it. There used to be rock. There used to be country. There used to be, easy listening. But now there's 15 different offshoots of each one of those at least.
Yeah.
Maybe more. It used to be rhythm and blues. Now it's rhythm and blues, hip hop, trap,
Gangster rap.
gangsta rap,
Uh,
soul. I mean, there are so many different West country. You had country, and you had country. Now you got modern country, classic country, country western,
country rap.
country rap. You've got red dirt country. I mean, it's just Yeah.
Texas country.
Dylan is absolutely correct about that. There's a lot of different genres out there, and I wouldn't even try to mention them all. I do want to mention this though. This is something that Travis and Lindsay, my daughter and son-in-law, who are of course part of Window World, are getting very involved in, and it's a great cause. It's called the Believers Buyers Group. And the Believers Buyers Group is a group of businessmen and women who come together and pool money to help the next generation of leaders in agriculture. They pool their money to uh, buy animals at the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo and other stock shows and rodeos around our area. And they pool the money so these kids that are, have an animal that maybe didn't place top one, top two, whatever, that they have a good amount of money that they can put towards their scholarships. And one of the things that they do to raise money for this is a golf tournament that they do every year that we participate in. And we're also going to be participating in this. It's called the Lucky Futures Casino Night to benefit youth and ag. It is taking place January 17th from 6:30 to 10:30. This is going to be in New Braunfels at the Stuyson House at the Wurstfest Grounds. That's 120 Landis Street in New Braunfels. Tickets are only $150, and they're going to have hors d'oeuvres, cocktails, live music, raffle prizes, and a whole lot more. They're going to have casino games. They're going to have craps and roulette and blackjack and all of that. It's going to be again at the iconic Stuyson House at Wurstfest Grounds in New Braunfels. Come dressed to impress. Come dressed to impress. It's a Western chic theme that evening. Lucky Futures Casino Night is hosted by the Believers Buyers Group, as I mentioned, and all proceeds benefit their mission of supporting kids involved in agriculture and ranching. If you want to learn more about the Believers Buyers Group, please visit their website, believersbuyersgroup.org. That's believersbuyersgroup.org, and you can buy your tickets for the Lucky Futures Casino Night right there online. And I encourage you to do so. Get yourself a whole table or two. And Debbie and I will be out there. I know that Lindsay and Travis will be out there. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. What are you laughing about, man? What's so fun?
I'm just thinking about Western chic. Is that gonna
thing?
Is that gonna be cowboy boots, Ariat shirt, and a turban?
Please, please. Hey, we got to take a break. We got another hour coming up. If you can stand it, stick around. 210-599-5555. We'll be right back on the Rockin' Home Show.
Oh.
With your gut. Your dog's immune system is based in the gut. A diet lacking in nutrients can cause itching, scratching, and a weakened immune system. However, there is a solution. DINOVITE. DinoVite. It took a grand total of 2 weeks. The dog stopped itching, the hair stopped falling out. Try DinoVite for free. Just pay shipping and handling. Learn more at dinovite.com/radio. How can I help you with every bite? Over 1 million pets helped with DinoVite. This is one of millions of Americans.
Take a bathroom break. I'll be right back.
I'm gonna work off find how to get people bathroom.
Can you make it by there okay?
I think so. I'll figure it out.
$2 $300 a month. We're able to do all these extra activities, so it puts less stress on our household and it puts less stress on our bodies.
Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com and start saving today. GoodRx user compensated for their time. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance.
No, I know nothing. 1071 local, regional, national, worldwide. Here and
Breaking news.
From ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. What's next in Syria after the Assad regime's collapse? That's the focus of a meeting in the region between the U.S. and other allies. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, speaking at the meeting in Jordan, said
there's some immediate needs that I think have to be addressed. For example, shortage of fuel, so that the lights can be turned on, so that stores can be open, people can get around.
He said the U.S. has been in contact with a group that ousted Assad, which the U.S. has designated a terrorist organization. There's another U.S. political figure overseas, but she's in the hospital. That's former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi receiving treatment in Luxembourg. The 84-year-old fell and suffered a hip injury as part of a congressional trip. More from ABC's Mary Alice Parks.
Her office saying in a statement that she's currently receiving excellent treatment from doctors and medical professionals. Experts say in many cases like these, it could be recommended she have surgery quickly in the first few days. We're still waiting to hear whether that might take place there in Luxembourg, how long she'll stay, or if she'll move to the major U.S. military facility in nearby Germany or head straight back here to the United States.
On social media, President-elect Donald Trump said Republicans will do everything in their power to end daylight saving time. A more controversial topic is abortion access. There's a new legal fight. It's one of the first challenges in the U.S. to shield laws passed by Democratic-led states to protect physicians after the Supreme Court did away with a woman's right to choose. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is suing New York doctor Margaret Daly Carpenter for prescribing the so-called abortion bill to a woman in Dallas in violation of Texas law. Such prescriptions are a key reason that the number of abortions has increased in the U.S. even since state bans started taking effect. That's ABC's Richard Cantu. Trump today will attend the Army-Navy football game. Joining him will be Daniel Penny, the military veteran acquitted in a chokehold death of a man on a New York City subway. You're listening to ABC News.
The holidays are upon us, and you know what that means. It's a crazy, stressful time of year. That's right, I want to tell you about Magnesium Breakthrough from Bioptimizers, when 7 treating forms of magnesium to target every system in your body. Don't let stress get breakthrough from Bioptimizers. Your body to for an exclusive offer, go to Bioptimizers Radio when you promote the radio during checkout to save 10% and transform for health. That's bioptimizers.com/radio.
Bills piling up, rent due, just need some extra cash to get by? Then you need to go to getcash.com, where you can get approved for a loan of up to $10,000 in minutes. You'll need to search through endless loan sites. Getcash.com is one of the largest lender networks. They can help anyone get up to $10,000 regardless of their credit score. Best part, the money can be in your bank account as soon as the next day. When you need fast cash help, go to getcash.com. That's getcash.com.
Local officials in New Jersey continue to criticize how the federal government's responded to reports of drones in the skies. Federal authorities say there's no national security threat. The mayor of Washington Township, Matthew Morello, says,
Best case scenario, they're out there watching and videoing. We're watching. What are they doing it still? And we just need someone to tell us, like, reassure us as mayors, so that we can tell our constituents that everything's okay.
the FAA did publish a website with more information about drones. 16 people were transported to hospitals in Southwest Florida after 2 airboats collided Friday. It happened at an Everglades tour business. It's not clear how the crash occurred. A woman who sent 3 college athletes sexually assaulted her in 2006 now says she made the entire thing up. ABC's Steve Osami has details.
Travis said Jim's going to get you canceled. I said he's trying.
How?
The sheep thing.
Wait, this
Lord. I don't know why this is a problem every week. Travis says everything sounds good, but they can barely hear the callers. How is that possible? We hear them just fine in here. You hear them just fine in there.
I don't know.
I don't understand.
ABC Steve Osami. I'm Brian Clark.
You know, it's just like Ray Stevens, you know, had something wrapped around his head and a scimitar by his side, you know.
That was a while back.
See for yourself why Active Liver is Scandinavia's #1 liver health supplement. You can find Active Liver at CVS and online at Amazon, Target.com, or directly at USA.com. Again,
Trust me, some of the stuff that Sean,
Oh, I know.
it sells. When I
Pales by comparison.
yeah.
Yeah, I know. I've heard some of it. Welcome back to the Rockin' Home Show. I'm Martin. That's Jim.
You kind of spread that out. Almost sounded like John Wayne for a minute there.
Was that your John Wayne?
No.
Stop.
The best John Wayne I heard was, well, you think you're bad with your phony rap. Well, I'll tell you, Pilgrim, I started to crap. What was that song?
I have no idea.
Was it this?
It was a Rap Wars, wasn't it?
It was a square dance rap, maybe?
I don't know, man. You listen to some stuff I've never heard before sometimes. I thought I've heard of everything. Good morning to Lindsay out there watching us. Good morning, Dennis. Dennis just popped in as well. How you doing this morning,
Yes.
Dennis? Good to see you. We are talking home improvement and music on today's show. As every show, it's the Rockin' Home Show on AM 550, KTSA, FM 1071, KTSA.com, and of course on Facebook Live. Thank you, everybody who's joining us on Facebook Live.
Absolutely. And as Nickelback says, offending the senses.
Offending the senses? Is that what Nickelback says? Okay. All right. Well, we don't want to offend the senses too much, but we certainly do want to help. And if you have home improvement questions or you just want to chat this morning, 210-599-5555, 210-599-5555. A little bit earlier, I was talking about a benefit that we are putting together for K-Star in Kerrville. And I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but I think that we've got our headliner lined up. It looks like Dale Watson is going to be headlining the event.
Cool.
And if you've never seen Dale, puts on a great show. Very awesome traditionalist country, and a lot of Merle Haggard in there. A lot of that feel, the Bakersfield sound. You name it in that era. And Dale gives that feel, and he's a great entertainer. He's a lot of fun, and we are thrilled that he's going to be our headliner. We also have some other special
And
stuff coming up.
keeping with the strange combinations, you can get like White Snake open for him.
Who?
White Snake.
Whitesnake.
Yeah.
To open for Dale Watson.
And keeping with the strange combinations, hey.
That would be strange.
Yeah,
Yes, that would be odd. I don't know that Whitesnake is available, but
Okay, well.
but nonetheless, it's going to be a lot of fun. May 31st, it's going to be at the YO Ranch Hotel in Kerrville, and we'll have a whole lot more information as the months go by. We got a long time until then, but we want to sell it out. We want it to be a really killer, and we'll have a website to get tickets and things like that as we get a little closer to that. We are going to be talking a little bit this morning, as time permits, about renovation and some renovation reminders and advice. This comes from home expert Gio Capolongo, who reached out to me from the Violation Clinic. Home renovations, they can be very stressful, and sometimes they're necessary. You have to do them, but there are some tips that he gives that will help homeowners navigate and avoid some issues that may arise. And we're going to be talking about that as time permits on the show today. But of course, phone lines are open at 210-599-5555. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, you had something. Go ahead.
No.
You sure?
Okay.
If
I did, the train left the station without me.
It came and it went. There it goes.
Yeah.
We're also going to talk about, if time permits today, some some. I know the feeling, man. Don't I get it. I really and truly do. We're going to look at some overlooked fire hazards in your home, and this time of year, this is really kind of a timely topic. When in the winter time, and especially around Christmas time, there are so many different things that can go wrong if you're not careful
Yes.
when it comes to
Yes.
electricity and fires in your home. And we're going to talk about some of those things to look for to help avoid those tragedies.
And again, the best advice we can give about electricity in a home is call a professional.
Always.
That's it.
Yeah, if you're going to be repairing electric, if you have got an electrical issue that is not as simple as, turning off an outlet and changing out an outlet, don't do it yourself, please.
Electric is not biased.
No,
It
doesn't care who you are.
it
Nope.
kills anyone.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Hey, good morning, Chase. Chase, out here watching us on Facebook Live. Appreciate you being there, buddy. And always good to see Chase's.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So let's talk a little bit. Let's shift gears and go back to the renovation topics. And again, this is courtesy of Gio Capolongo with the Violation Clinic. And if you're planning on staying in your home while renovations are taking place, and by the way, if you want to test your marriage, if you want to test your relationship, stay in your home while you're renovating. And if you make it through that, you probably got a pretty strong marriage. That's,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what-
Especially if you're doing some of it yourself.
if you're the more of it you're doing yourself, the stronger the marriage is if you make it out the other side.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
So please consider the following initial steps that will help alleviate some additional stress on the owner and on the contractor. And by the way, speaking as a contractor, the last thing that a contractor wants to see when they come in to do work on a home is a cluttered home, a homeowner that has just not moved a thing, a homeowner that leaves valuables out. Believe it or not, honest contractors do not want to see that.
No.
They do not.
No.
They don't want any option or possibility that something could go missing and they would be blamed for it.
Right.
So we're going to give you some suggestions that will make life easier, not only on you, but also on the contractor himself. Other things that contractors really appreciate from a homeowner, I will tell you from a contractor standpoint, is that you hired them to do a job, let them do their job. Don't hover, don't don't get your lawn chair out and sit in front of every window that they're installing.
I had a customer do that.
I've seen it happen. Chase is watching. He's seen it happen. That's the truth. But if you want your contractor to really do his job and do it well, it's very difficult. The way I say, the way that I describe it, and the way that I compare it is, no matter what you do, you wouldn't want somebody coming and standing over your shoulder doing when you're doing your job every day. I don't care if you're a doctor, an attorney, an administrative assistant, you don't want that. It's first of all, it makes you believe that whomever is doing that doesn't trust what you're doing, which makes it difficult to do your job in the first place. And secondly, it's just distracting. You need to have your time to work. So those are just a couple little side notes. But some of the other things that they mention. That again, Gio Capolongo with the Violation Clinic. I don't know about that name, but it's about code violations.
Yeah,
Code violations. Number one would be remove as much furniture, personal effects, and contents of the house as possible. That's the first thing I mentioned,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And for a reason. If you can get stuff out of the contractor's way, it will allow them to do their work unencumbered, not worrying about breaking something of yours, not worrying about your grandma's prized ring coming up missing because it got knocked underneath a cabinet.
Right.
And those are the worst possible scenarios for a contractor. If they are accused of taking something, that's a horrible thing, especially when they're innocent, right?
Right.
What's the next one?
Throw away anything that will not be kept after renovations. I don't know why you put that.
Great time to clean up, right?
Yes, yes,
It is. I mean, what better time to get rid of items you don't use anyway and not have to worry about them again?
right,
You know,
right.
I can't tell you, and I'll tell you what, I'm one of the worst when it comes to that. I can't tell you how many times I've moved the same thing to different houses for absolutely no reason.
Yeah, yeah,
None. You too, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
You think?
So preaching to the choir is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I've got stuff in the garage that I haven't used in 10 years.
See, that's crazy.
It's still there.
So when we move stuff out of the warehouse this next time, it's going one of two places, baby. It's going to Goodwill, or it's going to get sold, or it's going in the dumpster.
Bet.
I know. I know. Hey, listen, we got to take a break. When we come back, we will get to phone calls. We'll continue our list of some things to look out for when you're renovating your home. And Ruth, you will be up very first when we come back from the break. But right now, I want to talk to you about my friends at Apple Pest Control. Apple Pest Control is the company that I have used for the last 15 plus years to do our pest control at the Bomba household, wherever it is at the time, and they've helped us with our house, our office, you name it. The good folks over at Apple have always taken great care of us and our pest control needs. It's Stan Goodson and his family have been operating it since 1984. They are honest, they're dependable, they're reliable, they show up when they say they will, they do what they say they're going to do, and I never have to worry about any kind of pest problems around my home. And I love that so much. They have uniformed, insured, certified technicians that come out, do the job right, and respect your home like it's their own. They give you a quote over the phone. There's no contracts to sign, no hidden charges, and just great service. And ask them about organic insecticides for your home and your lawn as well. They'll take care of you like they've taken care of me, I guarantee you. Apple Pest Control, 210-695-8946, online at applepestcontrol.com.
You're the worst about keeping an obscure part or an
Oh, I know.
obscure trim.
I learned from the best.
Yeah,
My dad was the worst when it came up. I mean, there was so much stuff at the ranch whenever they sold the ranch. I don't know how they got rid of all of it. Honestly, I don't. I don't know if dad just went and dug a big hole in the back of the property and put it all in it. I don't know. I'm kidding. Of course, he didn't do that. I don't know how he got rid of all of it. No idea. I think a lot of it went with the property is what I think.
yeah,
Hey, this is yours now.
yeah.
You
It's in the package.
you never know when you might need that 1942 plow point.
Right,
You never know when you might need that.
right, right.
Yes, I know that it's a plow that was pulled behind oxen, but you never know. Everything might go down.
And I'm bad with tools and
Oh yeah, yeah.
I go buy a tool for a specific job, right? And keep it. And somebody says, "How long has it been since you've used this?" About 12 years, but what if it,
But you
what
never
if I
know when
need
you're going
it?
to need it again.
What if I need it?
And I think that that's where it comes from is growing up out in the country when you were 20 miles away from anything.
Right,
You didn't want to have to go and get that bolt
right.
or that wrench or that
So
steel,
so you saved all the bullets.
everything.
You
And I mean,
took
there
a
were
bolt out of
buckets
something,
and buckets.
you kept it.
Yep. Buckets and buckets. Leftover stuff. Here's stupid stuff to keep that I keep. Why, when you put up, well, we'll talk about it in a second. Okay, listen to this song. This might be my favorite Queen song. Might be. Because I think about their performance at Live Aid
Yeah.
and how that crowd was just in the palm of Freddie Mercury's hand.
Oh yeah.
Incredible.
Uh
So what's our theme today? Have you figured it out yet?
Radio song.
There you go.
I mean,
it is, of course. Of course it is. So there you go, Radio Gaga from the incredible Queen. So that's a good one. I'm not sure what else we have coming up, but Don did a pretty good job of putting them together.
Well, he could do video, kill the radio star.
Yeah, but that's not radio.
Right.
Well,
right.
I guess, yeah,
But-
kind of, sort of.
But we're
Yeah.
still doing video
Well, we're
now.
working on it. We haven't killed it yet.
No,
That's for sure.
that's not the idea.
No,
either,
we don't want
folks.
to do that. We
No.
don't want to do that. What were we talking about before we went in between? We were talking about something. I said I was going to cover it when we got back on the air. What were we just talking about? That's horrible.
That's yeah, because both of us.
Well, you think about it, because it was something that I wanted to mention, and by golly, keeping stuff.
Oh yeah,
Keeping
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
We're talking about, when you're renovating, it's good to get rid of things you don't need. So after the renovation, you don't have to keep keeping them. The dumbest thing that I think that I've ever kept is when you put up a wall mount for a television, there are certain bolts that go with your television.
Right.
Why do I keep the other bolts? Do I think that maybe this TV will go out and I will just miraculously get one of those other TVs that it fits?
You know, when I stopped installing for Window World,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right. I found a box of caulk tips in the garage.
Because you can never have enough. That's why.
I mean, just the tips.
Oh my God. Well, at least you have them. At least you have them.
Probably 300 of
Sell
them.
them on the black market. I don't know. Bring them back. We can always use them.
Oh, yeah, sure. Every case comes with 12.
I know.
You know,
And yet I have pulled out a tube of caulk and have not had one to put on it.
that's why, why when I was
There you go.
installing, I had the big box of tips.
See, we are reinforcing our own bad habits.
Yes.
Let's get back to the phone lines. 210-599-5555. Ruth, good morning. Welcome to the Rockin' Home Show.
Morning.
I have a roof project that's going to happen soon. A very thin layer of plywood on my roof, so they're going to double deck it. And I guess that's okay.
No, it's a good idea.
In between, and I presume in the long run, it's going to give me extra insulation, which I don't have a whole lot of insulation in my wall or any in my wall or any in my much in my attic. But on top of that, then they'll do the regular roofing. Now, I learned that roofing doesn't necessarily come with a replacement of fascia, so I need to do some fascia repairs. And is there a particular kind of wood and all of that I should get for that?
Well, there's a couple of things you could do in regards to your fascia. You could replace the wood and then paint again, or you could consider having somebody come in and replace the wood and then cover it with an aluminum fascia, a PVC coated aluminum fascia, and a vinyl soffit, and be done with it forever. That's another option. If you're going to replace the wood, do not use treated wood. Treated wood is not a good thing to paint. It's also not a good thing to cover if you are using a PVC coated aluminum, because the chemicals that they put in to treat against pests corrodes the aluminum. So either way, you wouldn't want to do that. Now, if you do have a company that comes in and does a vinyl soffit and aluminum fascia for you and gives you a permanent solution, they will change out that wood for you.
Okay. Now, if I just use regular lumber, do I just use a common lumber?
Just pine.
Yep. Just a common lumber, but make sure you treat it and paint it very quickly, or cover it with the PVC coated aluminum. The longer the common boards are exposed to the weather, the more chance you have for deterioration and rot.
And warping.
Absolutely.
Ideally, I'd love to have it all painted before it went up, but I don't think I'll have enough time for that. Can I ask you plumbing questions?
Absolutely.
2 weeks ago, I had to do some plumbing repair replacement at the valve. And then, with the on and off of the faucet, so I just do a few tries to get it right. Not the water faucet supply line outside. So at an old house, it always gets the debris loose inside the pipe.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I mean, except that, now I can't really turn my faucet on and get a full stream of water. So does that mean every time I do this, I mean, is there a way to prevent that? Is what I'm.
No, there's no way to prevent it except for
Repiping.
repiping. But it is a pretty easy fix. What happens in the faucets most of the time is that the aerators get clogged with that debris. You just unscrew the aerator from the faucet, clean it out, put it back on. Now you have full flow again.
Well, it's just stuck in the stem, I think, in that.
This is an outside faucet? Inside faucet. Okay.
The aerator's not on there because I took that off when it was clogging so frequently before. So it's just in
If it's large enough debris, it can certainly clog the pipe or in the
Is
faucet.
is the faucet leaking?
yes, actually,
Then
that sketches.
Yep.
you're gonna have to replace that faucet. There's no other way around it. And no, there's not really any preventative you can do other than um replace the piping or
And there are even companies that will come in and repipe your house without really doing much disturbing.
right.
What do you replace it with, and how far back do you replace?
What I would do is replace it with PEX, and I would replace it all the way to the incoming water source.
Yes. I agree.
All right, so everything, all the plumbing, if they do the piping with the walls, they have to, I mean, it's in the attic.
Fish
They run it through the attic typically.
and fish it down the wall.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Change that out, or they have to open the wall.
I don't think that they do much.
Very rarely.
Yeah.
Very rare. They might have to open a wall, but usually, if they do have to open one, it's usually behind a sink, under a sink, or behind a commode, something like that. It's not very often that they have to actually open a wall up.
Okay, Ruth.
Thank you so much.
Hey,
Blessed day.
hey, you too. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend. Let's get to Walter. Walter, good morning. Welcome to the Rockin' Home Show.
Given great advice, a great help to everybody in the community.
Thank you, Walter.
We try.
We have to obviously every broadcast, but the recognize too is to advise people that are hiring contractors to get an inspector, especially if it's something that's expensive, especially if they're going to the bank and are borrowing a pretty good sum of money. The bank can help you usually recommend an inspector that will come in and do electrical, plumbing, etc. And the other is, as we progress, I know the down payments are quite normal. So when the down payment, a lot of times it's more materials that once you've done the down payment, make sure you know who the materials are coming from that's delivered to your property, but also get that material supplier and or your contractor supply you with a lien waiver. You don't know what a lien waiver is. They can Google lien waivers, for construction, or they can talk to their banker again, or they have an advisor like a legal advisor. So many times you see the broadcast on local television of people that have been harmed by not by a contractor that wasn't up enough.
Could not agree more, Walter. I could not agree more. Lien waivers are standard. If you are getting a loan, your bank is going to require it anyway, and they require a list of contractors typically. But even if you're not getting a bank loan, not a bad idea to ask for that. And certainly, the best advice that I can give is to not get into a bad situation is do your research up front. Find out who you're doing business with. look at their track record, look at how long they've been in business, look at how many jobs like yours they've done. And in today's day and age, there is virtually no way that you cannot research somebody.
Right.
You guys are great. Thanks for your advice for all of it.
Absolutely, Walter. We appreciate you listening. As I remind our listeners often, without you guys, no show.
That's right.
We appreciate you being there and love doing this. It's a whole lot of fun, and we like helping people. Robert and Jerry and Jim, you guys hang on. We're going to get right to you. Got to take a break, take care of a little business, and then we're going to come back and get back to those phone lines at 210-599-5555. Good morning, Patricia Ann. Good morning to everybody out there listening and watching on Facebook Live. Window World in Brickstone. Since 1947, my family has been operating Brickstone in San Antonio for over 21 years. We have been operating Window World in San Antonio, and we are the #1 remodeling and home improvement company in San Antonio. And in the nation, there is no one who sells and installs more windows as a company than Window World, and we do it with a simple premise in mind: treat the customers like you would want to be treated. Take care of them like you'd want to be taken care of, and sell and install a superior product at a value price and service what you sell. We do everything from our award-winning windows to our hurricane windows for the coastal regions that we service, as well as all types of beautiful siding options, insulated siding, brickstone, stucco, and of course, gorgeous entry doors, seamless gutters, gutter protection, patio covers, pergolas, and so much more. Give us a call at Window World to start your home improvement journey today. WindowWorldTX.com is where you're going to find more information, and you can even book yourself an appointment right there online. WindowWorldTX.com. WindowWorldTX.com. Window World, improving homes, changing lives.
Start here, $25% off brand new prices. What's that? Very hot.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the Rockin' Home Show on AM 550, FM 1071, KTSA, KTSA.com, and Facebook Live. Martin Bomba's Rockin' Home Show on Facebook is where you go to find us, and you can like us, follow us, and watch us every Saturday morning, 9 to 11. We'd love to see you here.
You know, every time I hear that commercial,
Mm-hmm. The UMA commercial.
It reminds me of Jackie Gleason and Smokey and the Bandit.
I know.
With the Tibetan monks
Yeah.
and the watch and
beep, 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 beep. Yeah.
oh.
That was one of the funniest movies ever. Yeah, we're going to get back to the phone lines. 210-599-5555. 210-599-5555. Let's go to Robert. Robert, good morning. Welcome to the show. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
And I found out that had a wire, and wondering if I should go
the Home Depot and the way to pick up the right gauge, something like that.
Are you an electrician?
Okay. First off, I would still have an electrician.
And what year did you say the house was built? 2007.
And where are you located at?
There was no aluminum wiring in 2007. There was no aluminum wiring in 2007, was there, Jim?
I don't believe so.
No, I think aluminum wiring was phased out in the 60s.
No.
That doesn't, yeah. That doesn't sound right.
Get in a.
Have you gotten somebody, an electrician to inspect that? Please,
Yes,
please do that
do.
before you spend a dime, before you do anything. Have an electrician come out and inspect your electrical system. If you don't have a good electrician, I've got one I can recommend to you. If you'll drop me an email, I'll give you his name. He does all of my electrical work, and he can let you know if it's something to be concerned about or not. mbomba@windowworldtx.com. He sure will. Well, not necessarily. Yes, copper, the ground wire always looks copper colored, but your wiring does not necessarily have a copper color. No, sir. Yeah, I would almost bet you it is not aluminum, not from 2007.
Yeah, it's going to be one
It's
of the other. It's going to be one of the other. But if you have aluminum wiring in that house, it wasn't done to code.
No, that's what I'm saying. There was no aluminum wiring back in 2007. Well, get an electrician out there I mean, we can speculate all we want to, but if you get an electrician out there, it'll take him about 2 minutes to tell you whether you have a system that has copper wiring or not, and whether what you have is up to code or not.
They
replace the circuit that pops out of the panel for the AC unit because it was dying when I had to do AC put in.
Okay.
Yeah, get an electrician to come in and do a whole house inspection, because now if you replace the AC and that breaker was tripping, did you replace the AC with the same size?
It is a 3.5 ton, but it is a slightly better steer.
Okay.
Okay, but I definitely need you to get an electrician to look at that, please, because aluminum wiring was stopped. It stopped it was stopped
Discontinued.
being used in 1978.
Okay, so I was a little early on it, but I knew it was back 50
I
years ago.
mean, now there was still a lot of stuff that was built that may have had the aluminum wiring. They didn't necessarily have to replace all of it, the wiring. They could pigtail it, because even today, if an electrician goes into a 1950s built home and it has aluminum wiring, he can pigtail that aluminum.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, bottom line is you need to get a professional electrician out there to take a look at that. Drop me a line. I'll get you the name and number, and he'll get you fixed up. Okay. Hey, thank you, Robert. Appreciate you calling this morning. Thanks for being a part of the show. 210-599-5555 is the number to get in on the conversation. Let's go to Jerry. Jerry, good morning. Welcome to the Rockin' Home Show. Morning.
built, had a house built in 2009, 10-year warranty on it. Well, came and went, about a year after the warranty expired. I noticed the cracks in the Wall Street Rock. Had a foundation company come out and asked for settling. I just waited a couple more years and patched up and go on. So I did. I patched it up, and 8 months later, the crack came back. A lot of cracking and popping throughout the house. Called another foundation company out. Told me I needed 38 years. I think I was a second opinion. Had another company come out. Told me I needed 5 at the corner where the wall was cracking. Also had some parallel cracks in 3 locations in the house on the tile on the floor. In the ensuing years, cracks in the wall got a little wider, not much, and the cracks in the tile are a little wider. They're no longer just a parallel crack. Called another foundation company out. I told them, hey, you don't need any tools. You're built on solid rock here. I got to drill into the rock to put any shear in. He said, you may want to check, see if you have a leak under the house.
Mm-hmm.
Plumbers come out, 4 different plumbing companies, ran cameras, told me whoever laid the plumbing out for us did not do a good job. We got all the time in 45 feet and we got to keep the house, so we got to go around the rock. So long story short, had hole dug in the bathroom, so they couldn't go through the foundation to follow the rock. Dug that out. Told me I had a leak in the P-trap, and he brings the P-trap out. I got a hole about the size of my thumb.
In your P-trap.
And the hole was from the inside out. The material was covered from the inside hole out, not anything getting at the outside.
Right.
I put down in the floor, and I would think that it had that kind of a leak, that small of a hole, but there'd be quite a bit of water. There was no water. So I've had, and back where I am, I had all that extra days today to replace the P-trap. That was a $6,000 job to replace something. Again, I can't believe that causing an issue, and I'm still having some popping, cracking.
Jim, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, the P
No,
trap, the P trap, it's not uncommon that there wasn't any water showing in the hole, simply because the rock is porous. The rock absorbs the water. The biggest thing with that is the water being absorbed through the rock washes out the dirt and sediment that holds the rocks together. That's when you get your settling. So I can say that a hole that size in a P trap would cause a lot of foundation issues. And if you're in a rocky area, it would cause those issues not being seen, if that makes any sense, because all the water dissipates through
Right.
the rock.
Right.
As far as
Which is how our water filters through the aquifer. I mean,
as far as it continuing, have they checked the for more leaks?
Did, and they told me that they couldn't find the leak. I had another leak detection company come in
Hmm.
and told me I had a leak at just a small leak at the very end of the system. We have the what they call the trap outside the access.
yeah, the clean out trap.
It's about a 45-degree angle there, and they were again going to have to go in, not just the front of the house, not at the back of the house where the crack in front of the house, and they said they're going to have to go back in and tear up the floor in that one bedroom. they said they could run a liner through it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Turn that off of where the leak was at, the 45 degree that we might end up having clogged, plugging up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm kind of like, so I want to spend another 8, 9, 10 grand to fix what that seems to be a minor leak there, but
it
I don't know how.
Man, that's going to be your call on that, but yeah, I mean, every recommendation I would give you as to who to call and what to do, you've done it.
Yeah, same here. Same here.
I was going to do that, have an engineer, but
Well, that might be the next step. That might be the next step.
I don't know if it'd be structural or
Yeah, it'd be structural.
no,
Mechanical. Not mechanical engineer.
no.
You'll think of it.
I'll think of it. I'll think of it. Civil.
Civil,
A
a civil engineer. Yeah, civil engineer.
a civil
Yes,
engineer.
he's right. A civil engineer would be the right.
forensic engineer.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it
no
sounds like,
doubt.
you might need an exorcism.
Just let it go for about a year now, and I have to send it back. I'm gonna really feel like a real idiot if some a portion of my house collapsed. But the foundation is not.
I don't think you're going to have to worry about your house collapsing. I don't think you're going to have to worry about anything of that magnitude. I think you're going to be fine. But for my peace of mind, I'd want to know what's going on.
I want to know what the heck, 4 or 5 different plumbing companies and 4 foundation companies, and we're all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, Jerry, man, appreciate you calling this morning. When you do find out, please let us know. And Jerry's gone. Jim, Charlie, hang on just 1 second. We're going to be right with you and get to your calls too. We do have to take a quick break, but when we come back, it'll be Jim, Charlie, and your calls when we come back on the Rockin' Home Show. And I'm at a loss on that one.
So am I. That man's got some issues.
He's got some issues.
But like you said, he's done everything.
Every person that I would say to call, he's called. He's gotten the right
Several
people out.
times.
4 times, he said on one of them, 4 different plumbers.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's just nuts. Well, we're going to have to get to renovation advice next week.
Yeah. And the fire
And the
hazard.
fire hazards.
I'm thinking I don't have anything next weekend.
And I'll be remote next weekend because I'll be in Santa Fe, and the next weekend.
So, yeah. So the way Christmas falls, we're not going to miss any shows.
No shows.
Perfect.
Yep. We'll be live all the way through. Yeah, because this isn't Christmas Tuesday, Wednesday,
Yes.
Christmas Eve, Christmas Day.
Yes. Cole wants me to, if they get his orders cut before, he wants me to fly up and do a road trip with him back. But I would love to do that.
Do you need to be on the road that long?
No, I would love to do that with my son. I think they're going to affect me.
You don't think blood flow?
No.
Oh, okay.
As long as I take breaks, no.
Okay.
But what it is going to do is I don't relish the idea of crossing the mountains in December and January.
Oh,
I don't.
that's a bad idea.
I was out there for 3 years ago. Jeannie and I went out there for around Thanksgiving. Now last year I went up there just by myself, but I flew in and flew back.
Right.
But Jeannie and I flew in and then drove his car back because he sold it. But coming back, we talked about going through down through Reno but going over the Sierra Nevada, they were already calling for chains. So it's like, no, we drove all the way to LA and then turned east at LA.
That sounds no fun at all. You know this one? All right. I'm gonna test your knowledge now, Jim. I'm
Uh-oh.
gonna test your knowledge.
Uh-oh.
Number one, who does this song?
The guy on the radio
The guy
now.
that's singing it right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give you a second part. What movie is this from? Think about a movie from our youth. Iconic scene with Phoebe Cates coming out of a pool.
Okay.
Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, Fast Times.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High. That's right. It's called Raised on Radio by a band called Ravens.
Ravens.
And it's
okay.
the only Ravens song I know, but man, I love this song. I just love this song when it came out. And I love the whole album.
With the movie, not too many guys were interested in the soundtrack of that movie.
Yeah, I guess I was one of the few. I guess so. That's well, I was interested in other parts too, but
Yeah.
but yeah, the soundtrack was good. Let's get back to the phone lines. We got time to get a couple more in here before we get out for the day. Let's go to Jim. Jim, good morning. Welcome to the Rockin' Home Show. You're welcome. Thanks for calling. What I would say is, and I don't speak for Connecticut. I do know the owner of Connecticut, super guy, real nice guy. The difference is most water softeners use electricity. Connecticut uses kinetic power from the water flow. So that is the major difference, is you don't have electricity powering your water softener with Connecticut. Um, I would just do my research and check them all out. Connecticut is a good brand. Certainly, I think it's going to be a little more costly than other water softeners because of the technology that's in it. But that's the big difference. You asked me what the difference is. One uses electricity, one does not. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate you calling this morning. And let's get one more in here. Let's get to Charlie. Charlie, good morning. Welcome to the Rockin' Home Show.
I love your show. I love the reminiscing about that time.
Hey. Thanks, brother. Appreciate that.
30 years in electrician, and I've seen a lot of stuff, and I've replaced hundreds of 200 amp panels in houses and whatnot. Back in the day, they did have aluminum conductors, both 12-2, 14-2, 10-2. Everything was aluminum. The ground.
Right.
Right.
In the 80s, obviously, went to copper. And why? Copper does not shrink and expand like aluminum does.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not cost effective.
Up and I really enjoy your show, and the best thing to do is call a licensed electrician.
That's it.
Hey,
It is not.
you're piggybacking on what we say every week on this show. If we're talking about electricity, call a professional. If you're not an electrician, call a professional.
Oh yeah.
Amen.
Oh yeah.
Amen. Hey, good advice on both counts, Charlie. Thank you so much for being a part of our show this morning. We appreciate that.
You know what the first rule of electricity is?
What's that?
Don't mess with it.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's a nice word.
That's that you're right, but that is
Don't
exactly
mess
right.
with it. Just,
This would be a good time to mention, since he just walked in the producer's room, Louis Sirianni and the KTSA Automotive Show is coming up after the top of the hour. All of your automotive questions, whatever they might be, Louis got the answers for you.
he's the catalyst in the converter.
That made him laugh.
It did.
That did make him laugh. That's a good one. I like the oh my gosh. Woo, okay then. So we got time to get to a couple more of these renovation tips that we were not able to get to earlier. Thankfully, we got a lot of calls this morning. Appreciate that. But let's talk about a few more things. We were talking about renovation in your home. and some steps that you can take to alleviate stress on both you and the contractor. Again, this is courtesy of Gino Capolongo and the Violation Clinic. Creating a separate entrance and exit to your space is a great piece of advice.
It is, because that way you don't track the construction dust and debris into your living space.
That's right.
Also, it just, you don't interrupt, the work, or
Well, you're not getting in the way of the contractor.
right.
That's a plus. You're not tracking debris throughout your house. That's another plus. It's just safer to
Uh,
have a different
And this
entrance
is
and exit.
if it's feasible. Don't knock out a window
No,
to make it.
we're not saying that.
We're saying it as feasible.
But if they're working in the front of your house, come in the back door, vice
Right.
versa, right?
Right.
And then the last one, this little part is blocking off your space with a temporary wall or a curtain wall, which is absolutely imperative if you were doing any kind of deconstruction.
Most contractors are going to do that. They're going to want
Yes,
to do that
yes, they are.
because don't want to have to clean the entire area.
And there's whole systems that are dedicated to it now, like the zip wall system, which is a series of extendable poles that can, pin the plastic to your
Yep.
ceiling and then down to the floor. Very easy ways to make sure that your house is not completely covered in dust and debris.
Right.
And then avoid making any changes to plans and specs that are already approved. Unless you just like spending money,
Right.
unless you just like spending money, that's probably a good thing. Ways to avoid that happening are making up your mind and sticking to it. How about that
Yes.
one?
Yes. Stick to it.
That's a
Don't-
tough one.
Oh, you know what? I saw this and I decide I want this instead of this. No, don't do that to yourself, and don't do that to your contractor.
No, it's not. It's not really fair to the contractor either because it costs him money every time you make those changes.
Right. Right.
So keep in mind, if there are changes, there are going to be change orders, and with change orders come money.
Oh, yeah. And possibly new permits.
Also that. We don't have time to get to any more of these, but we will get to them next week on the show and cover these as well. Lots of good advice, and we certainly want to get it all out there to you. In the meantime, if you want to get a hold of Jim or myself during the week, email is always the best way to do it. And Jim's email is
jim.achelp@gmail.com.
And you can drop me a line, questions or comments. Love to hear from you at mbomba at windowworldtx.com. Again, that's mbomba at windowworldtx.com. Want to remind you again, the Believer Buyers Group, January 17th. Go to their website and let me see if I can get back to their website. They are having their casino night in New Braunfels. Highly recommend you get out there and check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. January 17th, 6:30 to 10:30 at the Worst Fest grounds. And you can get your tickets online. Go to believersbuyersgroup.org. Hey, man, it's been a great time. Appreciate you guys being here. Want to wish you peace and love. And go out and make the world a better place. Spread some kindness, everybody. We'll see you next week right here on the Rockin' Home Show.